vitamin E, CoQ10, lipoic acid, whatnot. The vitamin C is not going to be very effective. But if you take everything in conjunction and then get the foods to fill in all those gaps with the chemicals that are in food, the plant chemicals, the phytonutrients, bioflavonoids is another way to say it. If you take these things all in conjunction, that's how they're supposed to work. So you need to take them like that, not just have a crappy diet and then just take a bunch of vitamin E. That's not going to do you any good.
Right. So it's important that we note once again that you do take supplements to supplement what you're not getting in the foods that you're eating today, and especially if you're not eating the right foods. Even if you ate a perfect diet, you can't get everything you need without supplementation. So let's just rattle these off real fast again. Things that lower your immune system and prevent you from having a strong immune system, but that also can make you more contagious from getting the flu and cold. You ready for this? Low growth hormone, zinc deficiency, go.
Vitamin D deficiency, vitamin C deficiency, taking a flu shot,
lack of exercise,
toxicity,
and being too acidic, and sugar.
And poor antioxidant consumption in your diet.
Okay, so one of the things I also remember that, if we want to mention this or not, and I don't know how I know there's a link to it, it may be indirect, so I'd like for you to expand on it, is we had Christine Avanis on the show, and she's the food alchemist. If you go to her website, livingbeyondorganic.com, fantastic website. And she mentioned how if you have an apple, it doesn't have digestive enzymes in it. It can last forever on the kitchen table. And when you don't have digestive enzymes in food, you're not going to absorb the nutrients that are in the food. You need digestive enzymes. Talk about that also, and its relation to affecting us not getting the nutrients we need, even if we're trying to do what we think we're doing right.
Well, I don't know if I completely agree with her, because your pancreas is made to make digestive enzymes to break down everything that we eat.
Right, but how we eat today, see, if you put that in correlation with how we're eating today and not having the function of our organs and glands and everything in our body to work properly, doesn't that affect it?
Well, yeah. If you have a lot of toxicity, for example, and your immune system's suppressed, and maybe your immune system starts being confused and starts attacking something like your pancreas, and your pancreas doesn't work properly, sure,
right,
you're not going to make your enzymes appropriately. Do you know, and this is kind of an aside, but it's still related, is the reason why pancreatic cancer is the most deadly form of cancer is because the pancreas itself is probably the most important organ for fighting off cancer. Those digestive enzymes break down the cancer cells and make it very easy for your immune system to destroy cancer. If you don't make those digestive enzymes, the coating around a cancer cell will not get dissolved, and your immune system can't get to it and destroy that cell.
And that's all cancer, you're saying?
Every single type, yes.
So, talk about, if you would, before we go to the next segment here, I want to talk about those stats in that flu vaccine, the things that you said are the flu vaccine, formaldehyde and so forth. And then I want to move on past this and talk about some other things that people really need to know about. Strengthening their immune system. Today's show is about strengthening your immune system, not the stats on the swine flu and stuff like that, but there's certain things we have to do as a follow-up, and this is one of them.
Yeah, I got this at swineflu.mercola.com, Dr. Mercola's site. And he's got a handout. He says we should make this flyer and post this all over the neighborhood so people know the facts about the swine flu.
Right.
It does have mercury, which is a neurotoxin and an immune toxin. It also has formaldehyde, which we talked about. It causes, which is cancerous in itself. It's a toxin. Let's see. There's an increased risk of Guillain-Barré, which is an inflammatory disease of the immune system when you take the swine flu. It hasn't been. The swine flu vaccine hasn't been tested for cancer, gene damage, or fertility issues.
You know what? People will say, I just don't want the swine flu, I don't care on that one. The other ones I might go with you on, but I just don't want the swine flu, and that might kill me sooner, so who cares about that? People want the instant gratification, you can't blame them. But if you look at the other stats about it, you really got to get into the concern about gratification and what's more important today and how to fight it off. So what I want to do in the next segment is talk about some of the things that you and I rattled off. How does sugar affect your immune system? And keep it short. A low growth hormone secretion or production. And keep it short. Vitamin D, zinc, the things that we talked about. I want to touch on every single one of those and talk about how to strengthen your immune system to prevent yourself from getting the flu or cold. Okay, it's coming up next. 725 Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket. 7:30 Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket. George D. John on the Train Station Fitness Show. Guest in the studio, Dr. Jeremy Webster. We're talking about the things that you might not be aware of that can actually affect your immune system, lower your immune system, and now how to prevent it. So we're going to revisit some of the things that we talked about earlier that affect your immune system and why it affects it and how to strengthen it with each one of these. So let's start with, you want to start with coconut oil, one of the things we didn't mention before because it wasn't something that affects you in a negative way, but we'll talk about it helping us to strengthen it. Go ahead.
Sure. Coconut oil has some remarkable antiviral and antibacterial and just antimicrobial properties. When I say microbial, I mean all those little bugs or germs that affect us, whether it be yeast or parasites or bacteria or viruses. What seems to happen is when you take coconut oil, the predominant fat in that is called lauric acid, and your body metabolizes lauric acid into something called monolaurin. Now, monolaurin has an effect in the body where it will break down the lipid membrane or the fat membrane of viruses so that it kind of exposes those viruses to your immune system, and then your immune system destroys these things very easily once that membrane is disrupted. It's been proven that monolaurin actually has very positive effects on destroying the HIV virus, measles.
Hold on one second. You can't just run right through that. That monolaurin has been shown to help destroy, what was the word you used?
I used destroy.
Destroy the HIV virus?
Yeah. Yeah, I know 15 or 20 years ago, the claim was that there's nothing that could kill the HIV virus.
But I thought we couldn't kill viruses. We could only contain them.
Viruses can be destroyed, yeah.
Like that, I meant. That one?
Yeah.
All right, well, we need to get that out to the masses. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you break down that membrane, we can destroy them. You may or may not destroy all of it in your system, but you don't have to destroy all of the virus that's in your system.
So it doesn't show up as symptoms, yeah.
You just have to be able to keep it down and keep it suppressed enough so that it doesn't express itself.
So it doesn't mean you've rid yourself of it completely. You can still have it, but not express the symptoms of it.
Right.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you've ever had a cold sore in your life, you have that particular herpes simplex virus in your system. But if you don't have a cold sore 99% of the time, it doesn't mean you don't have the virus anymore. It just means that it's kept suppressed to the point where it doesn't bother you.
Well, can't we just become more alkaline and have that be suppressed as well? Do we have to have coconut oil to do it, or would I guess one hand washes the other in that case?
Well, my point is, if coconut oil has these antiviral effects and it's healthy for you, healthy for your heart, it tastes good, it's good for cooking, it has no negative effects for your health, only positive effects. It's smart to use something like this to have an antiviral.
So let's talk about where does someone get it at a healthy grocery store. How do you use it? Put it on a salad or cook with it.
You want to cook with coconut oil.
You want to cook with it.
Cook with coconut oil.
What if you don't cook?
Or you can eat coconut oil straight. It's actually hard, or it's solid at room temperature. It melts about 76 degrees. So if you're in a warm room, it will be liquid. But typically at room temperature, it's solid. But you can scoop that out. Take about a spoonful a day just for antiviral effects. It tastes really good. It tastes like coconut.
Yeah.
So it's not bad at all. And you want to get the unrefined version. That's the kind that still has the coconut smell and the coconut flavor. They estimate about 10 to 20 grams, which is going to be a couple teaspoons a day to get this type of effect. But you should be cooking with this stuff.
I don't cook. This is Dallas. What's wrong with you? Well, we're outside of Dallas
Anytime
also.
You stir fry. If you stir fry, if you make meats, whatever you're doing, if you make eggs, use coconut oil. Stop using other types of oil to cook with, and you're going to get this very, very positive. Not only HIV, measles, herpes, VSV, Visna virus, cytomegalovirus virus, or cytomegalo. I'm sorry.
Sounds like acromegaly head.
CMV, we're going to call it that. Lots of viruses. Flu is a virus, so we need to be eating these antiviral type compounds that are healthy for us. Coconut oil is one of them.
All right, let's move on. Low growth hormone. How does it happen? Well, it happens with age. It happens with people not sleeping properly at night. And I want you to say, I've said this many times before, and I want to say it again. Normal sleep is not someone who says they get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, but when they go to the bed, they go right back to sleep again. That's not normal sleep. It might be normal for you, but that's not how the body wants to work. But George, hold on, I had to go to the bathroom. Well, that means your system's not shut off enough. It's not slowed down enough to help you to sleep the entire night. You might also be bouncing back up from having a glucose imbalance, a sugar imbalance because of your diet. When all of these things happen, you don't release growth hormone at night, guess what? You lower your immune system. Not only do you lower your immune system, but guess what? You don't lower the body fat that you're trying to lower. You're not, or lessen, I guess that's the better way to say that. You may put on body fat, then you stress the system out even more. One thing that you and I didn't talk about either is, that this just happens to segue into, is stress the adrenal glands. You stress your adrenal glands, you have a lowered immune system. It's compromised.
And you don't sleep, which
furthers your
growth hormone issues and your immune issues. So it's a big snowballing effect.